Okay. So what's up, folks? If I'm while I'm still editing the review for SG4, I took a break from it and probably do something for different. If you must know, I'm gonna be reacting to Sunny B2's latest video, "The Stupid Criminals of All Time." Now, I've been following Sunny B2 uh, for a long time now. Basically, I did watch his videos. He explains how much there's like awareness drama between YouTubers and something or something like stupid winners of the lottery winning thing. Yeah, I did see that. Especially his the most critical video of his that talks about the the jelly bean drama, which if you must remember jelly bean, like people are so angry at her for no apparent reason other than making content, which is literally for kids, and and it's literally stupid of that because I don't know why people are attacking her because cringe. Like, yeah, cringe has a lost meaning nowadays, especially it's been abused a lot. So yeah. But anyways, enough of that. We're gonna react. We're gonna see the stupid criminals of all time. So Sunny B2's latest video, and I will leave it in the original link in the description down below. You can check that out.
In 2009,
Well, hey, hold up. Whoops. Hold up. All right, here we go.
in 2009, Matthew McNally and Joey Miller robbed a home in Iowa using masks drawn onto their faces with permanent black marker. Once on home, the two discovered
What
that
the
the permanent
fuck?
black marker doesn't rub off easily, leading to their simple arrest and embarrassingly stupid mugshots. However, these two still look like geniuses in comparison to some of the other idiots we'll be talking about. as we
Pretty much.
discuss the stupidest
Because
criminals
who in the I don't know what the thought process of using permanent markers to rob a house, like, and making that one of the greatest tattoo maker of all time. I mean that in a sarcastic way. It's literally the worst. Man, these are so stupid. Of course, there's not gonna be a stupid people out there and over the world, just like my folks says.
of all time. Take, for example, MacArthur Wheeler, who robbed two banks in broad daylight as he thought that pouring lemon juice on his face would make him invisible to cameras. When shown the bank surveillance footage, Wheeler refused to believe
Seriously? Oh my god. That's so stupid, bro. I'm gonna have a great time watching this, am I right? I guess stupidity comes in full laughs, I suppose.
he was visible, stating to officers, "But I
He
bought
refused to
juice,"
believe it. Are you
meaning that
kidding
as
me?
long as he didn't come
What
to
a
a head's toss,
dumbass.
he should have been completely invisible. Police concluded the Wheeler was not crazy or on drugs, just incredibly mistaken.
Incredibly
with the lemon
mistaken.
juice mistake
I just say he's
costing Wheeler
insane.
a 24.5-year prison sentence. However, if we're on the topic of terrible disguises, then we can't go past Dennis Hawkins, whose disguise as an old lady wasn't much better. His sweater accompanied fake boobs, a full beard, and fittingly clown pants, with this insanely recognizable outfit helping police to catch Hawkins only an hour after the robbery. The police
Seriously,
chief
bro.
Victoria
He
stated
could at least he
that
couldn't
nominated
shave or
Douglas
something.
criminal outfit. He
I'm
still
not,
had his
I'm not
best
supporting
facial
any
hair
criminals
with
at
a
all, but
wig. Definitely different.
I'm just saying.
Different is also a good way to describe Patrick Maguire's disguise, who robbed an Illinois convenience store while covering his face with a clear plastic bag. He was only able to obtain $60 from the robbery. However, due to his extensive criminal history, he was sentenced to 15 years in prison for the stunt, meaning that he had to spend 1 year in prison for every $4 stolen from the store. Talk about a bad return.
Yeah.
Equally bad was Paul Sinclair's, who attempted to rob a bank in Florida by using his fingers curled up into a gun shape. The quote-unquote weapon was so non-threatening that the bank teller gave him only $120, after which he'd flee on foot before being caught by police only.
Please tell me he did not take this from Heavy's kill taunt from TF2. Please, I swear to God, he borrowing that from a game. Even though I don't play TF2 a lot, but I could tell making like that that gesture. Even we all do gestures like this all the time. But I'm pretty sure. I'm just thinking he might copy it from Tom Kill from TF2 from Heavy. Oh my god. Pow! Alright.
10 minutes later. Then there was James Blankenship, who thought that robbery was legal as long as you did it at a certain time of day. Back in 2013, Blankenship broke into his own mother's home, after which the police were called, who would take to their Facebook page later that day to explain what had happened. He fled the scene upon seeing his mother. The male was located under the house hiding in a crawl space. When advised of his charges, he made the statement, "I thought you could only be charged with burglary if you break in during the night time." Blankenship was given 180 days in jail and ordered to pay a $100 fine, yet this wasn't the only time when a person was dumb enough to think that a law didn't apply to them. Because when Reuben Pavin was caught stealing from a charity thrift shop in New Hampshire, he'd state that he thought everything was free because of the name of the business, Finders Keepers.
Finders Keepers. Well,
the sign did say Finders Keepers, so I took that DVD player, took it home.
Well, I mean, he's literally right, but also he's 100%. Well, let's just say he's 1% right and 99% wrong, because you're robbing in a charity store, man. So that doesn't mean it's free. So, that's just pathetic, bro.
And told the local TV station. A couple of weeks later, the stuff is still there on the porch, so I'm thinking to myself, Finders Keepers. They probably just put stuff out there for people to take. The business responded via Facebook stating, "This man who was caught on video is saying it is all a misunderstanding. He thought everything at our store was free. Is that really the best defense he could come up with?" After which Pavin reportedly turned in the stolen goods to police, holding that he's not a bad person or a bad dad, and is rather just unbelievably stupid. But was he as dumb as Derek Mosley, who in 2013 attempted to rob a store named Discount Gun Sales by using a baseball bat.
Seriously?
When Mosley allegedly barged into Discount Gun Sales and smashed a display counter with his baseball bat, the store manager simply pulled out his own personal firearm and pointed it straight at the would-be robber, holding Mosley in the store until he was arrested and charged with first-degree robbery. A similar story.
Who thought it was a great idea to do that? Even though I'm not the biggest fan of guns, but Dad, robbing a gun store with you could probably tell most of the who work there have guns on their side, okay? So yeah.
Story then came out of Texas in July 2022 when a gun store was robbed at knife point, although this tale instead ended in a body bag as the robber was fatally shot by the store owner as he tried to exit with his loot. But what happens when you accidentally call 911 whilst committing a crime? Pocket dialing the police is probably a fairly common occurrence. However, for Carson Reinhardt and Nathan Tekla-Merriam, it happened at the most unfortunate moment, specifically while they were breaking into a car. The alert dispatcher soon realized that the call was an accidental one, and moreover that the guys on the other end might be up to no good. For the next 30
Yeah, that's what I hate. Like, okay, I'm using my phone, and when I put it in my pocket, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, like when you're stretched down, squat down, and you might somehow hit something that will call it like an emergency system here. Like it will directly call to your local police, and I'm embarrassed as well, but it's by accident. And they call me, and I told them it's accidental, which, yeah, you gotta be careful. I use my phones whenever I'm at work. I use my phone. I didn't use my phone when I was working. I would just rather put it this phone holder. You know those pocket things you just open and grab your phone line just like that. That's what I use. So I don't want to put it inside my pants. Yeah, that legit happened. And
35 minutes,
yeah.
The dispatcher stayed on the line, listening and gathering information, as Tekla-Merriam and Reinhardt did the following. discovered a car that they thought they could burglarize, discussed how to break into the car, allegedly broke into the car, exclaimed in delight over finding narcotics in the car, became confused as to how and why a police car was following them, and reacted in disbelief when the arresting officer revealed that they'd been on the line to 911.
Yeah, very accidental, but also dumb.
Situation, although under much more severe circumstances.
Oh,
Whilst on
boy.
trial for murder in 2015, Scott was successfully sentenced to life in prison, as 2 years prior he'd pocket dialed the police while admitting to a friend that he was the one who committed the crime. He had no idea he called 911, a sheriff's office spokeswoman told the Miami Herald. He basically told on himself, as did Albert Bailey, although in a much stupider way. Bailey had planned on robbing a bank in Fairfield, Connecticut, although rather than exercising the element of surprise, he'd call the bank prior to the robbery stating, "I want $100,000 in large bills and no die packs. I'll be sending someone into the bank to get the money. Don't call the police, we are monitoring the police scanner." Prior to
Why you want to call? Why that dumbest thing expect? What does he expect, huh?
He had already served 7 years in prison for a previous bank robbery. However, this new plan was equally ineffective, as after arriving at the bank to collect his cash, Bailey was locked inside, arrested, and sentenced to another 9 years in prison. Although, if he wanted to avoid this time behind bars, he could have had a chat with Tito and Amanda Watts, who got arrested in Florida for selling tickets to enter heaven at a price of $100. Tito Watts said in his police statement, "I don't care what the police say. The tickets are solid gold, and it was Jesus who gave them to me behind the KFC and said to sell them so I could get me some money to go to outer space. You should arrest Jesus because he's the one who gave me the golden tickets and said to sell them. I'm willing to wear a wire and set Jesus up." The couple had apparently earned over $10,000 from the stunt, meaning that they were able to find people even dumber than them, one of which might have been Ruben Zarate. While attempting to rob a muffler shop in 2008, Zarate was told that the shop couldn't access the money safe without their manager, who didn't begin his shift until later that afternoon. Instead of bailing on the robbery, Zarate instead gave them his phone number, asking them to give him a ring the next time the manager was in. They did so later that afternoon, although after returning to the store, Zarate received no money and was instead met by police and charged with aggravated robbery. Then there was the man who gave the people he was robbing something even stupider. The unnamed robber walked into a London bank carrying a gun and a bag, which he'd take to the front desk before demanding £700,000 in cash from the bank worker. But after making his demands, the crook handed over his gun to the cashier instead of the bag. Investigating authorities stated, "The guess is that he is very inexperienced."
Even though you might see
handing over his gun instead of a bag by mistake. But it was Trevor Jones who left an even more damning piece of evidence at his crime scene. After breaking into a house in Atlanta, Jones took a moment to check his Facebook on the owner's computer before leaving without logging out. Less than 3 years later, a similar story entered news headlines, reading, "A 26-year-old Minnesota man has been tracked down by police after leaving his Facebook profile logged in at a house he allegedly robbed."
Why would he do that?
The homeowner decided to message the robber via his Facebook, stating, "You left a few things at my house last night, how can I get them back to you?" which was followed by the robber agreeing to come back to the home so he could collect the stuff he forgot. However, the robber didn't get any of his items back and was instead arrested while still wearing a watch that he'd stolen from the night before. While both of these idiots used social media poorly, at least they didn't brag about the robbery in a YouTube video, as is what happened in the bizarre case of Hannah Sabata. In 2012, at the age of 19, Sabata stole $6,000 from a bank in Nebraska, and while almost anybody else simply kept quiet, Hannah instead took to her YouTube channel Jelly Beanie to upload a video titled "Chick Bank Robber," in which she'd straight up admit to having just committed a robbery. She'd then discuss her entire
look at it. It's like ratio, like half and half right there.
Before concluding the video by describing the vehicle she had used and that it had its license plates removed. This information eventually resulted in Hannah Sabata's arrest and sentencing of 10 to 20 years prison, done so in a public courtroom filled to maximum capacity with people who had seen the video. Just 2 years prior to this, 21-year-old Frank Singleton was being released from Palm Beach County Jail, having just served time for a trespassing charge. The only issue was he didn't have a car to leave the jail, so he decided to steal one from the visitor's parking lot, yet the car he decided to steal was a manual and he could only drive auto. Singleton sat in the car looking like an idiot before being arrested and sentenced sentenced to a further 6 years in prison, telling deputies that he tried to take the car because he didn't feel like walking to his home about 6 miles away. And while you may be sat here thinking that these criminals
he's
can't
just
get any
lazy.
dumber, it's time to introduce 53-year-old Michael Anthony Fuller.
Oh
It's common
boy.
knowledge that the US banknote doesn't go any higher than $100. Fuller had the genius idea to create a counterfeit $1 million note before trying to use it at his local Walmart. He loaded his cart with a vacuum cleaner, a microwave, and various other items totaling $472 before handing the $1 million note to the cashier.
How in the hell would that save you, dude? That's like, what the
Expecting
really? $999,528 for the change? Are you kidding me, bro? There's a good reason. I think there's a good reason why dollar bills doesn't exceed 200 because there's a balance into them, because you know when you're giving bills at any place, there's a good chance that some of those convenience stores or any other store won't have the change for that. So yeah, that, and also that's really I've been into that situation a few times, which honestly is pretty frustrated. But I can understand why. Which yeah, I can understand why. And also, I don't. Let's take a look at this fucking idiot making a counterfeit bill of 1 million. Like that ever exists at all? It's never exist. And and seriously, or only $428, bro? Really? At that point, you had to use a credit card or debit card or something, because that's how it works. But yeah, just so stupid.
$99,528 in change. Needless to say, Walmart wasn't able to facilitate this, and instead store staff called police. Fuller was later charged with attempting to obtain property by false pretense and uttering a forged instrument.
God damn. Yeah. Wow. I never heard any of these cases before, but damn, there's a lot of stupidity into it. But hey, we have a good laugh about it. But it's also be taken seriously though. But yeah, but at the end of the day, they're stupid. That's all it is. They're just stupid. Oh yeah. So well, guys, that's all. That's the video, The Stupid Criminals of All Time by SunnyV2, and I will leave the original link down down below so you can watch the original, and you can subscribe to SunnyV2. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sub, like, and comment, and as always, I'll see you next time in my next vids. Peace out.